Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra, with me Shel Patnagar, and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street. Well, right now, if you see, the Nifty has slipped below 25,400 mark. It's toggling around 25,350. This is after the markets have actually hit record high levels in the intraday levels. We've actually got a new high of the Nifty to refer to, and that's 25,482. But after that, there's been profit booking at those higher levels as we have seen on the Nifty. The Nifty bank still is soaring higher. In fact, it's continued to build on to the morning gains as well. Over a percent kind of gains can you see on the Nifty bank right now. 52,779 is the current level, and 1.1% higher for the Nifty bank index. It's financial services and Nifty bank, private banks. These are the only three indices that are now sectorally into the green. Rest of them have all slipped into the red. Remember, it was the IT stocks that were the weakest link in the morning session. It still continues to be so, and it has further lost ground. 3.5% lower for the Nifty IT index, right ahead of the US Fed's policy decision in tonight's trading session on the Wall Street. Now, pharma, metals, oil and gas, consumer durables have also lost over 1% in trade, but there are some stocks that are actually doing very well on the Nifty. Look at Shriram Finance, Bajaj Twins, both of them are up over 3%, 4.5% gains can be seen on these counters. All the private banks are ICICI, HDFC, Axis, they are contributing a lot on the market move. SBI, Nestle, IndusInd Bank, these are the other stocks that are actually doing well. In the F&O space, you have Samvardhan Motherson, that's climbed up about 4% odd, Shriram Transport Finance and Bajaj Finance as the other movers. Good afternoon, Shel.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I think the show of the day belongs to Bank Nifty, and this is on its weekly expiry. The last 5 days were phenomenal. The index added about 1,200 points, and today's tally is another 622. All put together, 1,800 points in the last 5-6 sessions, and it's now, Sakshi, almost certain that the last laggard of this rally, which was the Bank Nifty, will now show a record high at 52,800 or so. I think the intraday high was 52,950 and the all-time high is 53,400. So we are just a whisker short, not today, but definitely this week, given the fact that there is a rate cut tonight on the US markets. Everything is in pause mode except for Bank Nifty, Sakshi. Yeah. Across the world, you see strategists, analysts, everybody relaxing except you and me. We are the ones who are just trying to make sense out of this market, but there is this lull before the storm. Let us see what the US Federal Reserve says tonight in terms of rate cut. 25 basis points is more or less certain, and we'll have that reaction coming in tomorrow, which is the weekly expiry of the Nifty. So Bank Nifty doing phenomenally well. You will see a record high probably early next week, and it's the smaller banks actually. Bandhan Bank 2.6% higher, 213. Volumes are phenomenal. The contribution from ICICI Bank is the maximum for Bank Nifty's stunning rally. You have about almost a 2% rise to an all-time high for ICICI Bank, and HDFC Bank is 1.5% higher as well. So ICICI and HDFC Bank together are somewhere like 60% of Bank Nifty. Both of them are up 2% each, and therefore you have this fantastic rally. In terms of contribution also, Sakshi, for Nifty alone, ICICI Bank has pulled in 40 points, HDFC Bank has pulled in 28 points. This is when Nifty is down.
Yeah.
So that's the positivity that the banks are bringing in. If they were flat, you would have seen a 200 point cut on the Nifty. I'll also like to mark Bajaj Finance, a fabulous run that is happening today, 3.7% higher, 76.39. Bajaj Housing is relaxing today, two stunning 10% circuits, and now down about 3-4%. And who can forget Bombay Stock Exchange?
Yeah.
Now 15-16% higher to a fresh high. I remember started marking it at 2200 or abhi bhi jaan baki hai.
Absolutely. I think it's already moved up for 33-34% in the last 4 days itself. It was up about 3 sessions out of the last 4 days, and in that itself you've seen a 33% surge. It made a low on the July 23rd day when
Yes.
the budget crash came in and that was around 2100 odd or so. From that time till now, it's over an 80% kind of a surge that you've already seen within these couple of months on the stock already. And we've repeatedly talked about how the buzz around NSE IPO is fueling further fire, because BSE will be benefited. NSE any which ways has to get listed in it, if at all it brings up its IPO on the Bombay Stock Exchange. So there you have it, just like how BSE is listed on the NSE. So that's potentially the benefit that investors are seeing there. Let's welcome our guest on the show. Aditya Arora, founder of Adelatic Stock Market, is with us. Aditya, welcome to you. Thank you so much for taking the time out. You tell us, how are you assessing the market move? It's slipping further now, 25,339. The nerves starting to creep in right ahead of the Big Bang event on the in the US. That's the US Fed rate cut.
Very good afternoon. Yes, markets are all divided, and look at Bank Nifty. If one would be looking at Bank Nifty, they would be saying today market is up and everything looks so good. And another person who is having a portfolio of small cap and mid caps would say that's such a bad day because every stock is down a little bit here and there. And so I think market is pretty divided. But if we try to break down the technicals on the index level, then I remain pretty constructive on Bank Nifty. As Shelji, clearly summed it up, it's the last sector which is running the market. Private banks have remained a laggard for a long time. Now, their run-up would complete a good upside for all the segments of the market. So I remain constructive on Bank Nifty compared to Nifty. We are already seeing weakness in IT sector, which is pulling Nifty down. So more or less upside for Nifty seems little done, but private banks are something, where investors are looking to hide. So their relative outperformance can play out.
Right, Aditya, very warm welcome to you, sir. Within IT, what do you think could be the reason for this fall that we are seeing?
In IT, we are seeing TCS being the biggest laggard, which is, bringing Nifty down. If we look at it technically, then there is a gap which is there between 4,300 to 4,350. So more 25, 50 points down over there would complete the gap which it had created a while back. But it's little risky to be in IT space because we also see Magnificent 5, Magnificent 7 stocks in USA having market cap of almost 5% of the total market cap in USA. So market is very much skewed towards IT stocks, and I think TCS would be a better buy at 4,000 odd levels over there. Price action is pretty strong, support is strong. But right now, IT sector looks little weak. But one shouldn't conclude right now because today could be a big game changer. It's one of the most uncertain event, and we are seeing the probability of rate cut after 4 years. So can move the market almost 2 to 4% in a day or in few weeks. I think one should closely watch today night's Fed decision.
Okay. And Aditya, within the banking space, where are you keeping your focus? Banking, financial services, would you ride the momentum that we are seeing right now?
Again, I would say relatively ICICI Bank looks the best. The stock making 52-week high, having very good fundamentals, and in private banks, it has been an hero and outperformer, clear-cut outlier. So ICICI Bank looks good to me, but overall, good entry point should be taken post the event because market is prone to gap ups and gap downs in next 2 to 3 days. I'll let the dust settle down, but if I had to choose one bank from the private bank space, then it would be ICICI Bank.
Fair point. That's a record high that you're already seeing on this counter, and maybe a digit change will also accompany this record high fairly soon. You have almost 1,300 on the screen as far as ICICI Bank is concerned, and let us see how the rally moves on. Remember, two stocks have been the cornerstone of Bank Nifty over the last many months. Axis Bank and ICICI Bank, ICICI of course record high, and Axis is also headed that way. But the point of concern today is the sell off that we are seeing in the IT index. I will request the PCR to fire emphasis. This is the top loser, 6% lower at 2980. Sakshi, it is not only the fall that is worrisome, but it is the volume. 18 lakhs, 17.47 lakh shares of emphasis have been traded, which is 3.5 times 5-day average. So, this fall, whether it is profit booking or partial exit, is on very heavy volume. Similarly, TCS down 4%, almost 1.6 times 5-day average has been traded, and this is on a day when you had a report coming in from a brokerage which was looking at 5700 on TCS. Not immediately, that was a 1-year target, but normally what we have seen is reports doing pretty well when it comes to frontline counters as far as prices are concerned. Let us just delve a little deeper into the broader market. We have just 632 shares in the green on the National Stock Exchange, compared with 1740 on the red side. And Sakshi and I tracked 19 indices for you. Out of 19, Sakshi, 18 are in the red.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, Aditya, let's try and spot wherever we can the green spots as well. There are several smaller pockets that are drawing our attention, like fertilizers and chemical space. Chambal Fertilizers is something we marked in the morning, that's still buzzing in the F&O list. We also have Deepak Fertilizers now, that's gaining ground. It's I think up about 6 odd % in trade. Anything that looks positive to you within the fertilizers space that you'd like to continue to see momentum in?
I think you picked Chambal Fertilizer as a very good pick because after testing its important support at 336, Chambal has shot up to 550, and that was on very heavy volumes. When markets were correcting and when markets are correcting today, it's holding very strongly. In fact, it's consolidating in a in a narrow range. So once there's a breakout above 550 odd levels, this stock could start its next journey on the upside, which could take it to 600 to 650. One should keep stop loss at 500, but the breakout zone is above 550. One should mark that.
Okay, got that. So that's as far as the fertilizers and the chemical space is going. Across the board, we are looking at some of the other instances as well. Let's look at some other interesting names in the broader markets, in the Nifty 500 basket. Let's pull up some names which are actually doing very well. Okay, we have Bikaji Foods International, 6.3% higher in trade. That one is looking good as of now. There are several others that are also pulling up. Let's pull up some more names. Genus Paper and Boards is pulling up. I think the paper stocks are coming back. You also have DCW, you have BCL Industries, Vakrangi we had marked in the morning. Remember, there was a news flow. The stock is in fact up sharply higher in trade now. It was up about 3-4% up. It's now up 11%. Yes, it's up 11% right now. A very strong move that has actually come in with that health insurance space move that's coming in. Do you track Vakrangi? Or would you have a view here, Aditya?
Yeah, I am seeing the charts of Fakrangi, and I think it's a classical risk on market in certain pockets for sure. We see almost low quality, high beta counters doing well at certain period of in certain phase of the market. So I would say that Fakrangi really qualifies for that, and technically the stock looks very fantastic. So I think kudos to you for pointing out this stock. I would buy this stock at 23.20. I would suggest a buy on this stock at 23.20. Stop loss should be 21 and target should be 25 to 27.
So that's the view that is coming in on Vakrangi. Of course, the uptick on Bikaji Foods is actually also accompanied by a modest rise on Sapphire. Sapphire is from the same business, and this is a stock split, after which you see a price about 340 on you. That's 2% higher. keep an eye out on this one. But I think the profit booking is now extending to beyond the Nifty stocks. Look at how IRCTC is moving. This is down about 3.4% for the moment. Pain coming in on several other pockets as far as losses are concerned. Look at the PSU pack. You have Oil India down 2.2%. I was hoping you will see an uptick on this one because windfall tax has been pulled down. But well, there is across the board profit booking. Bharat Dynamics 1.5% lower, Cochin 1.5% lower. So across the board, people are now sort of winding down their trading platforms or trading portfolios or booking lots of profit ahead of what is a main event. So anything beyond 25 basis points, Sakshi, on the higher side, if you have 50 basis points, then the market will be spooked very badly, because traders and investors will realize that Fed knows something which is coming up, and therefore they are trying to preempt that negativity. And if there is no rate cut, ladies and gentlemen, then there will be pain again, because you have seen a huge build up happening before that, and some of it of course is now getting booked out. Look at IT, the index itself is down 3.5%.
Yeah.
It's a rare occurrence. Remember, for the last quarter, the last 3 months, the Nifty IT index, I'll request the PCR to file a longer term chart, has actually been up 25% over yesterday's close. And this is 1 year chart. If you see the 3 month chart, it's a rally of 25%, minus 3 now, so that's 21%. That's the chart you'll see coming in, so that's 20% for you. And the next best performing index is the pharma index, up about 17-18%. Remember, both these indices, Sakshi, are focused on the US. You get 90-95% of your software revenues overseas, of which 70% is from the US, and 50% top line of every large pharma company except for Mankind comes from the US. So both these indices have done very well, and some kind of profit booking happening now.
Absolutely. Okay, we'll keep an eye out on both these pockets even as we go forward. You were talking about Bikaji Foods. Zomato is also pulling up now, 1.5% higher, 274. What will you look here and tell us, Aditya? Do you think Zomato still has some steam, or is it dwindling now?
I think the stock has already done very well for itself. It ran
Yeah.
from 146 in June to current 274. So it's taking its own time to consolidate and build a base to start a next leg of rally, or maybe some correction itself, because the stock has almost gone 5x from the bottom. So right now the chart structure is simply saying it's consolidating, and the range is defined as in a way 240 is the lower band of the range, and on the upper hand side the range is 285. So once this range breaks, stock could further move in that direction.
Okay, got it. So that's as far as Zomato is concerned. Let's see if we can pull up some newer names for Aditya to really look at this point in time and tell us what is next. Okay, let's bring up BSE itself, 16% higher. It's very difficult for you. I can understand, when the stock has already run up, 32-33% in just the last 3 days, how to really assess this move. And, there is no stopping BSE at this point in time. And it's a very difficult task for investors also, whether to buy in now or whether to just wait.
Right. That tricky one for sure. The market is tricky because we have 1 day before, like exactly on the same day of Fed rate cut, because that's a big game changer. We have seen markets moving 2 to 4% in a day. That equates to 500 to 1,000 point on Nifty. So in such a market scenario, trends can change significantly. But if you talk about BSE, the important point is that NSE has got clearance soon. That will also get listed on the market. That would be the ultimate day when BSE could top out. We have seen similar patterns, in Bajaj Housing Finance also. When, the stock was about to get listed, a lot of housing finance companies were doing well. And once the stock got listed, all the stocks got hammered down 5 to 10%. So that's the time when euphoria gets, reaches its ultimate top. So I think same kind of pattern could play out in BSE. All looks good. There's positive spillover of NSE IP also coming. So hence in last 3 days the stock has run up significantly. But once this NSE gets listed, I think that's the time when investors should take profit home and enjoy the profit.
Okay. I'll request PCR to please fire the longest possible chart of BSC that they can pull. Sakshi, the IPO came in January 2017 at 806 rupees. So the price that you see is actually a 5-for-1 stock split. So if you wrap it up to let's say 3800, so 3800 into 5
Yeah.
is the actual price of BSC, which turns out to be 19,000. Okay, and 19,000 is in correlation to 806. So if you divide 19,000 by 806, what you get is the multiple times the price has rallied, 23x.
Wow.
And 23x in what? 3 plus 4, 7 years.
Unbelievable.
That's what is going to happen. And essentially what is happening is that you are getting a unlisted quote for NSC. Now
Around 6,000 or something, right?
yeah,
6,500.
and 6,001 was when BSC was 2,200.
Ah.
So now BSC has caught up with NSC in terms of valuations, and 2nd November is the split date for unlisted NSC to allocate 4:1 bonus.
Okay.
Beyond 2nd November, you will see deals happening on NSC, which will again create this gap. So that is what is happening in the market. At the moment, the record books of NSC are closed. Even if you buy shares, you cannot get them transferred in your name, the bonus will not come. So there is no transaction happening. And this is the gap which BSC is utilizing to catch up with NSC. That's the story.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, so that's something only Shell can help us and our viewers can help us understand, what's really actually going on behind the rally as well. So keep an eye out on. See, all of these interesting stories you only find on Business Today television.
That is
so
true.
Stay with us. So stay with us, viewers. This is what you will get if you are with us. Okay, let's get in some other interesting names for Aditya to point out to us what can be expected right there. Okay, even FMCG names which are doing well right now, ITC at 510, Nestle, Britannia, these are the point counters that have been coming back into limelight, HUL of course. Aditya, where do you see the rally consistently following through within the FMCG pack?
Very correctly said. FMCG is the clear hiding space and safe hiding space. FMCG is the safe haven right now in the market. So Nestle is breaking out today up 1.6%. That looks good at 258, and stop loss should be 2540, and target should be 260. That one looks good from FMCG pack.
Okay, so that's as far as the FMCG space is also concerned. A few of these stocks that are actually looking like a hiding place or a safe haven in this current market too. Okay, between the power financiers, REC has now slipped into the red. PFC is still holding up, 1.6% higher in trade. Let's look at some other interesting. Okay, Samvardhan Motherson, let's get you to talk about that one, Aditya. Is a top mover in the F&O space. Auto ancillary space has been a buzz with more and more electric vehicles getting launched from marquee players, newer launches, exciting all the auto ancillaries pack particularly. Any particular stock on your top radar, or Samvardhan also you can tell?
I think Samvardhan has had a good run, but in auto also and auto ancillary also, I'm not very bullish because we have seen news of inventory pile up in four-wheeler space, and stocks have come down 10 to 15%. Little bit of brokerage downgrades also over there. So already we are seeing good run up in Samvardhan from 60 to 204. So I keep pretty neutral view over there, and in auto space, I'm not very bullish. I think if prices correct, that would offer a better risk reward opportunity. But right now, I think it's an avoid for medium term.
Okay. I think, Sakshi, we'll just discuss a bit more as far as Samvardhan is concerned. This is an IPO, my apologies, this is a company that is again raising funds, and I think 6,500 crores is the QIP, which I believe they are raising through debt. Let me just keep that sentence in abeyance. But amongst the best top 4 value creators on the Bombay Stock Exchange, you will have Samvardhana Motherson as one of them. I have lost count of the number of splits and bonuses that this company has given over the last 15 years. Let me just request the PCR to make a long term chart of Samvardhana, and this has to be seen in sync with another stock, which is Motherson Sumi, which is the wire agency, Motherson Sumi Wires. So please keep that in mind, and let us now just hold our breath for the stock splits that have come in from 2013 only. Sakshi, when did you start work?
2009.
2009. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one was in 2009, 1.5 is to 1. 2012, 1.5 is to 1. Then came in 213, 215, 217, 218, and finally in 222.
Wow.
I'll get you the percentage wealth that has been created. This is an auto ancillary that is has a larger turnover than Maruti Suzuki. When you look at the size of this business, it's
Exports are pretty large too.
yes. So and like I said, amongst the quietest wealth creators on the Bombay Stock Exchange is Samvardhana Motherson. It just gave a split of an equal value of Motherson Sumi Wires. So if you held 1000 shares of this one Samvardhana, you got an equal number of Motherson Sumi Wires, and the top line is 1,05,000 crores. Market capitalization is 1,45,000 crores, and I'll also bring in the top line of Maruti to bring into context how big Samvardhana Motherson is. The reason why we are giving you so much of data is because there is nothing happening in the market, ladies and gentlemen. Revenue of Maruti is almost same as Samvardhana, so that's how it is. And I'm sure Samvardhana is a face value 1 stock because they've sort of so many times split the counter and given so many bonuses. Let me just recheck that for you. Face value is 1, that's right. So those are the वैसे ही हो गया, and then maybe so many stocks, easily 20,000.
That's so interesting, Shell. Thanks for bringing that up for all our viewers as well. We'll thank you, Aditya, for being with us patiently through this course and helping our viewers understand some of the picks that you've highlighted as well. Good to have you with us. And viewers, we will now welcome another guest on the show. We now have Mr. Prashant Tapsi joining in. He's a research analyst at Mehta Equities, and we also have Raghavendra Singh who will be joining us shortly too. Okay, so Raghavendra is also with us. Both of you, warm welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Good to have you with us. Well, the good part is that both Shell and I have been struggling to find out some names to talk about in this current setup in the markets. So we have both of you to talk about some of the names that investors should should be looking at. Let's start off with you, Raghavendra. क्या करना चाहिए? आप US Fed के डिसीजन से पहले कहाँ पर पोजीशन बना रहे हैं?
देखिए, यूएस के फेड का डिसीजन जो आएगा वो तो आएगा ही। उसके पहले पिछले 2 दिन से बाजार एक सीमित दायरे में है और मुझे लग रहा है अभी जितने भी ट्रेडर हैं वो पोजीशन शायद बहुत हल्की करके जा रहे हैं। सो एक चीज तो है कि सबके दिमाग में ये है कि यार पोजीशन हल्की रखनी है, तो बाजार डेफिनेटली जो हर आदमी जो सोचता है उसके अगेंस्ट ही करता है। तो मुझे लग रहा है कि क्या होगा वो कल देखेंगे, बट मुझे लग रहा है कुछ तो धमाकेदार होने वाला है। दूसरी चीज, अभी बाजार में जो निफ्टी आप देखिए 25,500 के आसपास है, बैंक निफ्टी ऑलमोस्ट 53,000 के आसपास है। तो जो निफ्टी की रैली हुई है वो बैंक निफ्टी में अभी तक नहीं हुई है। तो मुझे लग रहा है कि बैंक निफ्टी अभी इंतजार कर रहा है कि फेड का जो भी डिसीजन होगा, मुझे लगता है कि वो डिसीजन बैंक निफ्टी को कहीं ना कहीं फेवर करेगा। निफ्टी मुझे लग रहा है कि बहुत ज्यादा 100-200 पॉइंट के रेंज में हो सकता है। अभी जो ऐसे टाइम पे स्टॉक्स जो लेने हैं, जो अभी दिख रहा है मुझे स्क्रीन पे, मैंने आपके साथ कई बार साक्षी शेयर किया है। एक हमारे पास आईएक्स था, दूसरा मदरसन सुमी जो अभी शैल जी डिस्कस कर रहे थे। पिछले 1-2 महीने मुझे लगता है कम से कम 20 बार हमने आपके साथ ये स्टॉक को शेयर किया। बहुत बढ़िया फंडामेंटल कंपनी है, बहुत अच्छा स्टॉक है। 240-250 का लेवल तो बहुत जल्दी मुझे लग रहा है कि आना चाहिए। इसके अलावा बजाज ग्रुप का आईपीओ आया, बजाज फाइनेंस आप देखिए, मुझे लग रहा है कि अब ये 8,000 प्लस का लेवल बहुत जल्द दिखाई देगा। तो बजाज फाइनेंस जो है, आईएक्स है, और अभी देखिए आप पीएसयू बैंक, मुझे लगता है ये पीएसयू बैंक अब यहाँ से धीरे धीरे एसबीआई हो, बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा हो, कैनरा बैंक हो, ये एक थोड़ा सा अप ट्रेंड दिखा सकते हैं। तो मुझे लगता है ये जो स्टॉक्स हैं, मुझे लग रहा है कि आने वाले समय में अगर कोई इन्वेस्टर अगर फेड को लेके घबरा रहा है तो इधर जा सकते हैं, यहाँ पैसा सेफ रहेगा आपका।
राघवेंद्र जी, फेड को लेके हम क्यों घबराएंगे? वो तो हमसे ताल्लुक ही नहीं रखता।
लेकिन सर एक्चुअली क्या है कि कश्मीर में अगर बर्फ गिरती है तो कन्याकुमारी वाले को सर्दी होती है। तो प्रॉब्लम यही है कि उनको लेके हमें कुछ होना तो नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन सब जगह पूरी दुनिया में बना हुआ यूफोरिया कि ये मीटिंग होने वाली, ऐसा होगा वैसा होगा, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता हमारे यहाँ। लेकिन ठीक है, बाजार है कुछ न कुछ तो जरूर इफेक्ट होगा, देखा जाएगा क्या होगा। बट ओवरऑल मुझे लग रहा है बाजार अच्छा ही रहेगा।
मतलब पंजाब में ठंड सुनी थी, कश्मीर में जब बारिश होती है लेकिन आपने तो बिल्कुल ऑप्शन की दुनिया में प्रीमियम आगे बढ़ा दिया। प्रशांत जी हमारे साथ जुड़ चुके हैं, प्रशांत तापसे जी। प्रशांत जी, मतलब कश्मीर में ठंडे और कन्याकुमारी में इम्पैक्ट हो रहा है, आप क्या सोचते हैं?
देखो सर, यस, उन्होंने जो बोला वो सही बात है, बट मैं देख रहा हूँ कि लास्ट 1 महीने से यूएस वीकली एक दिन रिसेशन में जाता है और इमीडिएटली फिर रिसेशन से बाहर आ जाता है। तो बहुत वॉलेटिलिटी चल रही है। 25 बेसिस पॉइंट का जो कट एक्सपेक्टेशन लास्ट 2 महीने से बात कर रहे हैं, आज हम लोग डी डे पे खड़े हैं कि रात को जो होने वाला है वो होके रहेगा। 25 बेसिस पॉइंट इज गुड फॉर मार्केट्स एज पर माय असम्पशन। 50 बेसिस पॉइंट अगर आता है तो मुझे लगता है एक गैप अप होगा, बट अगेन प्रॉफिट बुकिंग जोरदार होगी। अगर नो रेट कट आता है तो ऑब्वियसली हम लोग नीचे गिरने वाले हैं। तो बेटर टू हाइड समवेयर। एक बार पोजीशन कैश इज ए किंग समझ के पोजीशन नील करके जाए। आज मैं रियली मतलब मॉर्निंग से मैं इतने लोगों को प्रॉफिट बुकिंग कॉल दे चुका हूँ कि जो भी हो एक बार प्रॉफिट बुकिंग कर लो। मार्केट कैश में रहना चाहिए। 20% मैं कैश में बैठा हूँ मेरे क्लाइंट के बुक्स पे, और थोड़ा जा रहा हूँ तो मैं आईटीसी ले रहा हूँ या मैरिको ले रहा हूँ या डॉलर ले रहा हूँ, बिकॉज यूएस में कुछ भी हो बिस्किट और वो सब तो करने वाले ही खाने वाले हैं लोग
जी। तो अब ये मैं आपको पहले ही बता दूं, 3:20 पर साक्षी और मैं आप दोनों से बीटीएसटी और एसटीबीटी कॉल लेंगे, और ये सख्त हिदायत है कि आपको भी वो ट्रेड अपने लिए लेना पड़ेगा।
ओके,
बिल्कुल।
हाँ, मतलब वो आप हमारे साथ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नोट शेयर करेंगे, क्योंकि नॉर्मली क्या होता है कि इवेंट से आगे हम लोग कहते हैं कि भाई हल्के रहो, कुछ मत करो, मजे लो। और ये भी बताइए आप दोनों, राघवेंद्र जी पहले आप तो खासकर आप आज रात को 12 बजे जागेंगे वो देखने के लिए पावल साहब क्या कह रहे हैं?
बिल्कुल नहीं शैल जी, कोई फायदा नहीं है। बाजार कल सुबह 9 बजे खुलेगा, हम कल रात को 12 बजे तक जग करके मेहनत करके, आप बताओ, अच्छा रात को 12 बजे मैं एनएससी तो ओपनिंग करवा लूंगा, तो
हाँ।
मैं अपनी रात की नींद क्यों खराब करूं? बेटर है सुबह जो होगा सुबह देखेंगे फिर।
अच्छा, प्रशांत जी आप जागेंगे या नहीं?
नहीं सर, नेवर, मैं कभी जागा नहीं हूँ। 8-9 बजे के आसपास खाना खा के सो जाऊंगा, जो होगा देखा जाएगा।
क्या वेजिटेरियन खाना खाएंगे आज या क्या? प्रशांत जी वेजिटेरियन खाना खाएंगे क्या?
ऑब्वियसली यस सर।
अच्छा चलिए, राघवेंद्र जी तो खिलाड़ी आदमी है, ये तो आज कुछ मेरे को लगता है पार्टी वार्टी करेंगे।
नहीं सर, पित्र चालू है अभी, तो थोड़ा रेस्ट देंगे लीवर को।
It's an interesting conversation.
अच्छा ये बताइए राघवेंद्र जी, रेस्ट तो आप
जी।
दे रहे हैं लीवर को, लेकिन लिकर के स्टॉक बहुत बढ़िया काम कर रहे हैं, इसमें बताइए कोई बढ़िया सा बाय जो आपको लगता है धमाकेदार उनके प्रोडक्ट हैं और उनके चार्ट आपको अच्छे लगते हो।
देखिए यूबीएल है, थोड़ा अच्छा दिख रहा है मुझे। इसके अलावा जो है, मैंने कई बार इसको भी बोला भी था, 2000 के आसपास था, तो यूबीएल थोड़ा मुझे अच्छा दिख रहा है। मुझे लगता है यहाँ से ये जाना चाहिए। रेडिको खेतान ले लीजिए, तिलक नगर इंडस्ट्रीज ले लीजिए, ये एक अच्छी मुझे लगता है कंपनी है। इंद्रायणी करके इंद्रायणी करके एक लिकर आता है, उसकी एक बहुत छोटी सी कंपनी है, मुझे नाम अभी याद नहीं आ रहा है अभी।
सर मैं बता देता
Agri
हूँ।
Agro.
बिल्कुल। तो वो बहुत अच्छा कर रही है सर। मैं 40-50 रुपए से उसको देख रहा हूँ, तो अभी ये ऑलमोस्ट अब मुझे लगता है 1000 रुपए के रेंज में आने वाली है, 600-700 रुपए है। वो बहुत अच्छा कर रही है। तो वो कंपनी मुझे लगता है, क्योंकि उनका जो जो मतलब जिस टाइप का उनका टेस्ट है और जो
हाँ।
क्वालिटी उनके पास है प्रोडक्ट की,
ओह।
वो मुझे लगता है कि
क्या
मतलब
बात है।
अल्टीमेट है सर, अल्टीमेट है। एक बार आप ट्राई करो, बहुत अच्छा है सर।
अच्छा, जिन्होंने नाम बताया आपको वो कोई सेवन नहीं करती हैं, ठीक है, और जिनको आप सजेस्ट कर रहे हैं वो ऑनलाइन कह नहीं सकते हाँ या ना। तो अब ऐसा करते हैं, इस टॉपिक को
बाद में बात करेंगे।
बाद में बात करते हैं इस बारे में, ठीक है। प्रशांत जी बताइए, चार्ट्स पर आपको क्या इंटरेस्टिंग लगता है, कोई एक दो स्टॉक जहां पर आपकी निगाह हो तेजी की तरफ?
सर मुझे एबीडीएल जो आपने दारू की बात की, तो वो स्टॉक मुझे अच्छा लग रहा है, जो रिसेंटली आईपीओ आया था। तो आई थिंक ये एक स्टॉक अच्छा लेना चाहिए। यहाँ पे ये स्टॉक चला नहीं है, मुझे लगता है 345 के आसपास चल रहा है, और यहाँ पे 360 या 390 के आसपास आना चाहिए स्टॉक।
जी जी जी। ऐसा करते हैं, इस सेक्टर से साक्षी अलग हटते हैं और अच्छी अच्छी चीज़ों की बात करते हैं। क्या
Bikaji
पता
Foods.
नहीं नहीं, वो भी फिर राघवेंद्र जी कह देंगे वो उसके साथ इस्तेमाल होती है, फिर और मुसीबत हो जाएगी। तो मेरे ख्याल से अच्छा मैं ही स्टॉक बताता हूँ, मैं ही आपको बताता हूँ, मैं ही बताता हूँ। प्रशांत जी आईएक्स का चार्ट देखिए और बताइए कि ये जो धमाकेदार रैली हम एमसीएक्स और बीएससी में देख रहे हैं, ये आईएक्स में आपको आती हुई दिखती है क्या?
आई थिंक मैं थोड़ा फंडामेंटल बताना चाहता हूँ, बिकॉज इसमें जो वॉल्यूम मंथ ऑन मंथ ग्रोथ आया हुआ है, एक साल के बाद ऐसी ग्रोथ आया है, डबल डिजिट ग्रोथ देख रहे हैं, 15-20% मंथ ऑन मंथ ग्रोथ इन टर्म्स ऑफ पावर ट्रेडिंग वॉल्यूम्स। तो दैट इज द मेन रीजन। लास्ट 2 साल से ये एक्सचेंज पूरा ठंडा पड़ा था। अभी जो एक्सचेंज में जो वैल्यूएशन क्रिएट हो रहा है, एनएससी का आईपीओ, बीएससी का रैली, एमसीएक्स का रैली, आई थिंक आईएक्स भी वही एक वैल्यूएशन ग्रैब करने की कोशिश कर रहा है। टेक्निकली यस, हायर हाई बनाते जा रहे हैं। मेरे लिए 240-250 का एक टारगेट मुझे लग रहा है यहाँ पे टेक्निकली, बट ओवरऑल मुझे लगता है साल भर के लिए 300 का टारगेट लेके बैठना चाहिए।
Okay, got it. चलिए और देखते हैं कि और बाजार में कहाँ पर हम अभी फोकस कर सकते हैं। बाजार में आईएक्स पर तो नज़र रहेगी, साथ साथ जो एंटायर फाइनेंस स्पेस है, आज हम लोग सुबह भी बात कर रहे थे बहुत सारे स्टॉक्स की, यहाँ पर उम्दा तेज़ी इस समय आपको देखने को मिलेगी। खास तौर पर आपको स्टॉक्स ऐसे देखेंगे जो ब्रोकरेज हाउसेस के स्टॉक्स हैं। जियोजित फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज को देख लीजिए, अब 4.5% ऊपर, सुबह 1% तक के आसपास की तेज़ी यहाँ पर थी। आप आईएफएल फाइनेंस को देख लीजिए, यहाँ पर तेज़ी आपको दिखेगी। अक्रॉस द बोर्ड आप सारे ब्रोकिंग हाउसेस के स्टॉक्स को उठा लीजिए। सुबह से हम लोग बात तो कर रहे हैं बीएससी की, इसके अलावा द एंटायर स्पेस इज ऑल्सो अ बज़ विद अ लॉट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट राइट देयर। Let's get Raghavendra ji into the conversation. Raghavendra ji, how would you look at this entire brokerage houses space? Is it up for grabs beyond BSE?
साक्षी देखिए, अगर जितने भी जो ब्रोकिंग हाउसेस कंपनियां हैं, अभी देखिए मार्केट बिल्कुल हाई पर है, अच्छा कर रही हैं सब की सब। मुझे लगता है कि इसमें से जेएम फाइनेंशियल एक कंपनी है जो मुझे लगता है बहुत ही सस्ते वैल्यूएशन पे है। ओवरऑल मैनेजमेंट इज गुड एंड आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग स्टॉक टू द 150 लेवल बिकॉज द स्टॉक हैज गिवन अ वेरी स्ट्रांग ब्रेकआउट अबव 115-120 लेवल विद द गुड वॉल्यूम। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, रैली गियर इज रेलिगेयर इज द शेयर जो कि मुझे लग रहा है कि यहाँ से एक अच्छा खासा अपसाइड दिखा सकता है, बिकॉज मैनेजमेंट चेंज हो रहा है और जब से बर्मन ग्रुप इसमें इन्वॉल्व हुआ है, कंपनी बहुत ही नीट एंड क्लीन बिजनेस कर रही है, बहुत अच्छा जो इंप्रूवमेंट है कंपनी के बिजनेस में। मुझे लगता है कि रेलिगेयर एक है जो मुझे लग रहा है 350 360 का लेवल आना चाहिए। तो ये दो स्टॉक्स हैं जो मुझे लग रहा है जो मुझे लगता है आने वाले समय में काफी अच्छा कर सकते हैं।
ये आपके सामने चर्चा हो रही थी जेएम फाइनेंशियल्स और रेलिगेयर एंटरप्राइजेस की। 3:14 हो चुके हैं। साक्षी, मेरे ख्याल से उन सेक्टर्स और स्टॉक्स की तरफ ध्यान देते हैं जहां पर आपको एक अच्छा मोमेंटम आता हुआ दिख रहा है। वॉल्यूम अगर आप देखें तो ज़ाहिर तौर पर आप देख ही रहे हैं किस तरीके से आपने बजाज हाउसिंग में आज भी 4-4.5 हज़ार करोड़ रुपए का ट्रांजैक्शन होते हुए देखा। थोड़ी बहुत मुनाफा वसूली जो कि एक बहुत ही अच्छी चीज़ है, लेकिन दो शेयर्स जो हम अक्सर चर्चा में नहीं लाते साक्षी, ये लोग बनाते हैं ग्रेफाइट इलेक्ट्रोड्स जो काम आते हैं स्क्रैप स्टील को मेल्ट करने के लिए। ग्रेफाइट इंडिया 8-8.5% ऊपर और HEG लिमिटेड 8.5% ऊपर। प्रशांत जी, ये प्रश्न आपसे है, HEG के चार्ट के बारे में आप कुछ अगर चर्चा करें तो।
आई थिंक यस, अच्छा एक ट्रिगर मिला है ग्राफाइट पे और HEG पे, दोनों में। ग्राफाइट में बहुत ज्यादा बुलिश हूँ, तो आई थिंक ये स्टॉक 650 और 675 तक जाने की कोशिश करेगा एंड आई थिंक छोटा ब्रेकआउट मिलेगा अगर 600 के ऊपर क्लोजिंग मिलता है तो वेरी बुलिश ऑन ग्राफाइट।
Okay, got it. So we'll keep an eye out on both of these stocks as well. Let's look at across the board where else can we find momentum. We were discussing the QSR space. You can look at how Devyani International has moved up 3.9%. It is from the same group where Varun Beverages is also.
Yes.
So both of these stocks have actually been doing very well. Varun Beverages we've discussed many a times. Devyani International is also in the same Jaipuria group as well. Interestingly, Varun and Devyani are the children's names on the basis of which these companies are set up, Varun Beverages and Devyani International. How about these two stocks, Prashant ji? Do you have any interest in this QSR space?
I think
Pizzas,
yes,
cold drinks?
Yes, on fundamental basis, we cover this QSR space. Devyani is our favorite pick again. I think the target can be 220 plus on a trading basis, but overall अपना target एक लॉन्ग टर्म बेसिस के ऊपर ऑलमोस्ट 300 के आसपास है 1-2 साल के व्यू के हिसाब से। मुझे लगता है जिस तरीके से अभी आगे जाके सेकेंड हाफ का जो फेस्टिवल सीजन है, QSR का बिजनेस बहुत हाई होने वाला है, मार्जिन भी ग्रोथ होने वाला है। मुझे लगता है कि this sector is a highly watched sector right now and this can be a safe haven also because यहाँ का जो बिजनेस है it is driven by domestic, so I think ये ग्लोबल जो भी volatility है ये बिजनेस मॉडल में ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट नहीं करेगा। I think Devyani is a better pick for us.
Okay. What else is on the move? In this space, we have a lot of them. You have restaurant brands now, Sapphire Foods that Shell also pointed out. Even the hotel space is now moving up. So Royal Orchid Hotels is also moving up as well. So we'll keep an eye out. And EIH is also on the buzz as well. We had discussed Indian hotels a while back. Lemon Tree is something that we were discussing. Would you like to say anything on this entire tourism, travel, hospitality space, Raghavendra ji? What looks good to you?
इंडियन होटल इज लुकिंग गुड। मुझे लगता है वो एक अच्छा स्टॉक है जहाँ पे मैंने कई बार रिकमेंड भी किया आपके साथ साक्षी जी, एंड मुझे लग रहा है कि ये स्टॉक अभी और पोटेंशियल रखता है यहाँ से ऊपर जाने का। सो अगेन आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग स्टॉक टू टच 750 780 लेवल एंड वन कैन डेफिनेटली बाय द स्टॉक विद द स्टॉप लॉस ऑफ 660 655. Apart from that, Lemon Tree is looking very attractive at this point of time. So I believe Lemon Tree again, stock which can give almost 50 to 20% upside from this level. So these two stocks are looking good in the hospitality sector.
317, ladies and gentlemen, we have now the market which is waiting with bated breath as far as the event ahead is concerned. Let me take this opportunity to mark record highs at a time when you see a mild correction across the board. Bombay Stock Exchange, it's fantastic. 18.3% higher. Not only is it the top gainer on the NSE 500, but it is also the top traded counter in today's trade. Torrent Power, Sakshi marked it in the morning. This was an L1, right? They
Yes.
have L1 on
Maharashtra Discom has given a 1500 megawatt pumped hydro storage project, to the company.
okay, record high for you, ladies and gentlemen. Bikaji, we've discussed Radico so many times, but we will keep it away. 2553 for you, record high. One stock that needs everybody's attention is Philips Carbon Black, now known as PCBL. Prashantji, I'll request you to please keep the chart handy. We'll just come back to you. And amongst the Nifty stocks, I think there is just one record high today, and that would be, wow, there are 5 record highs. ICICI Bank, Shriram Finance is just 4.3% higher, 35.74. You had a research report 2-3 days back on Shriram Finance that had a very higher target of, I think, 5200 if I'm not wrong. Hero Motors, Bharti Airtel and Bajaj Auto, all of them swinging up to fresh peaks. Coming to you, Prashantji, a view on PCBL?
I think fundamentally एक story भी है कि they have done some JV for battery plant, so that is also making this stock very much attractive right now. With respect to carbon black, I think they are leaders right now. Technically, I think higher highs बनाते जा रहा है, all time high के आसपास trade कर रहा है. A long term investor still has to hold this stock. 600 can be a technical level for very short term perspective, but more than can be expected on a long term basis. Overall, very positive on this stock.
Okay, got it. 3:20. Just the right time for us to take BTST trades from both Prashant and Raghavendra.
Not to mention the contract notes.
Prashant, first to you.
So I will go long on ITC. That would be my favorite pick to be on a safer side. Technically as well as fundamentally, so that would be a given trade for us on the day morning.
Okay, that's it? Only one?
Yes, only one. Baaki cash पे बैठा हूँ.
Okay. Raghavendra ji, from your end?
LTTS and persistent. IT stocks are down around 4 to 5%.
Yes.
अगर कुछ ट्रेड में होता है चेंजेस तो मुझे लगता है IT स्टॉक है जो कल बाउंस बैक अच्छा करेगा. So again, I'm expecting persistent and LTTS to perform well tomorrow.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, what we'll do is give you the context of this fabulous rally and move that we've seen on September so far in terms of how should I say, top gainers on the Nifty in the month to date so far. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the run up to the rate cut that you are going to see tonight. So we've discussed Shriram Finance already, and Sakshi, now notice how everything is either related to a rate cut or focused on the US markets. The second top gainer on the Nifty is Hero Motors in September, up 9.3%. This is a rate cut theme and the festive season thing. Bajaj Auto is up 8%. Now comes the first pharma company, Divi's Labs, 7.5%. Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv are up 6% each. This is the afterglow of the Bajaj Housing IPO. And then you have banks all the way, Axis and ICICI up 4 and 5% respectively. In NSE 500, the September gainers are Bombay Stock Exchange. Sakshi, you mentioned 37%, right?
Yes, 32%.
Wow. So from August 31st to now, it's a 32% uptick.
No, from July 23rd till now it's 80%.
Wow.
And in last 4 days it is 32%.
Okay. These are numbers. You can well understand that the direction is up. Okay. Then you have Concord Bio, Jubilant Pharma. Again, pharma stocks 31 and 30% higher. And some other names, it's pharma all the way. PPL Pharma, Jubilant Ingravia, so on and so forth. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the kind of rally that we've witnessed across the board. It's a bit difficult to get you advanced decline ratios over a longer period of time, but what could be interesting is to find out how many stocks in okay, this is a huge list, so let's leave it. It's a mathematical exercise. I'll somehow do it towards the evening and let you know tomorrow. So that's the story, ladies and gentlemen. We have a decent bit of profit booking happening on the Nifty today. You have 25,361 down 0.22%, nothing to be worried about. But it's the bank Nifty that's saved the blushes for almost everybody. 52,691 for you as far as prices are concerned. The intraday high was 52,950. So a bit of profit booking there, and let's hope for all the best that we can hope for sitting in India, 12,000 kilometers away from US Federal Reserve, कि 25 बेसिस पॉइंट कर दें और ये कह दें कि इस कैलेंडर ईयर में, सॉरी इस फाइनेंशियल ईयर में 3 और होंगे, बस और कुछ नहीं चाहिए अपने को, बाकी हम संभाल लेंगे। राघवेंद्र जी बैठे हुए, डरना क्या है?
बिल्कुल 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 शायद जी, आप लोग साथ में हैं तो बिल्कुल हमारी भी यही उम्मीद है कि कुछ ऐसे धमाकेदार बैटिंग हो जाए और छक्के चौके कल फिर बैठेंगे हमारी तरफ से भी और आपकी तरफ से भी मार्केट में।
Interesting. Okay. Let's also look at, okay, Raghavendra, you have any sense of how FIIs will actually react to once the rate cuts start to happen with India?
आई बिलीव साक्षी, देखिए अभी जैसा बाजार का सिनारियो पहले रहा है तो मुझे लगता है कि एक दिन का तो स्पॉट आएगा। टुमारो आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग अ गुड अप मूव, देन आफ्टर मुझे लगता है थोड़ा सा प्रॉफिट बुकिंग आ सकता है, बिकॉज अभी आप देखिए हम ऑलरेडी लाइव आई पे हैं और बहुत अच्छी खासी रैली इस मंथ में हो चुकी है। सो मुझे लगता है कि एनी टाइम प्रॉफिट बुकिंग 500 पॉइंट 600 पॉइंट निफ्टी में आ सकता है, विच इज ऑब्वियस। मुझे लगता है वो आना भी चाहिए, ताकि अभी आप देखो म्यूचुअल फंड जो बैठे हुए करीब करीब 2 लाख करोड़ के आसपास बैठे हुए कैश में, मुझे लगता है वो कैश इंतजार में है कि बाजार अगर नीचे आए तो वो लेंगे। तो मुझे लगता है एफआईआईज भी जो है थोड़ा सा प्रॉफिट बुकिंग जरूर करेंगे और मुझे लगता है फिर वहां पे एक अपसाइड की रैली आएगी।
Okay, got it. Let's see what else is buzzing. Fertilizers, chemicals are buzz with all the trade. You have a lot of stocks from the chemical space, or alkyl now is joining the bandwagon. It's 7.5% higher. Alkyl amines is also up in trade. Prashant ji, chemicals, fertilizers में कुछ interest है आपको? Anything that looks positive?
I'm tracking a stock called ACI. I think ACI looks good. It's into specialty chemicals. तो टेक्निकली मुझे एक स्टॉक अच्छा लग रहा है, ACI, which is trading around 704. So ACI
Archean Chemicals की बात कर रहे हैं आप?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, 704.
Okay. So this is what you like.
That stock I like a lot on the fundamental basis as well as technical. So this is the call for the day from our team. So we are tracking this, and I think short term के लिए 800 का टारगेट लग रहा है मुझे।
Yes. Okay, got it. So that's as far as the chemical space is also concerned. Clearly, India Wix is something we haven't marked. Let's look at that one also, viewers. 6% higher at 13.3, and you can see how the volatility is high. And that was largely expected. There's a very big event that's happening overnight that may have ripples being seen across the globe. Not just on the Wall Street, how the Asia markets opens tomorrow, and of course the European markets are likely to follow suit as well, and then the Indian markets too. And therefore there is a likely impact, and therefore you see this volatility. Let this day pass, and you see how it reacts, and then things will be back on the course, is what I believe as far as the markets are concerned. Right now we are 3 minutes away from the day's close, and you see a 65 point down tick, 25,350. We are down, but definitely we're not losing all the way down as well into the markets. Shriram Finance, Bajaj Twins, HDFC, ICICI, banking and financials clearly saving the day for the markets in trade today, and climbing from the front. And that is also because of the rate cut expectations. Rate sensitive sectors are also buzzing in trade. Shell.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, time to sort of exhale this lovely run up that we've had. It's one of the finest 6 months that I have spent in the markets across the board. Apart from today's reaction on IT, it's been a one-way rally. About 1 month ago we started on pharma, and see the kind of returns that Sun Pharma, Cipla, Divi's, Dr. Reddy's have shown on the frontline space, not to mention the wonderful rallies that you've seen on Lupin, Aurobindo Pharma, Glenmark, to name a few stocks that have given very strong double-digit rallies over the last 30-40 sessions or so. With that background in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we'll wrap it up for today, and hope for the best as far as Wall Street is concerned. And tomorrow is another day. It's going to be a different era where rate cuts will now impact markets, which we've waited for now almost 4 years to happen.
Absolutely. We'll start wrapping up the trade now. Viewers, thanks a lot, Raghavendra and Prashant, for being with us on this special trade and helping our viewers really
Thank you.
understand the strategies on that front. Good to have you both with us. We'll start winding up now. About 0.2% lower for the Nifty, 25,346. You have the Nifty Bank that's also come, off the highest point of the day. It's still holding up about 0.8% higher, but it's still off that high point. 52,635 right now. So we'll see how this goes forward from here. Among the sectors, only the banks and the financials are up and about. It's the rest of them have all slipped. IT now down by over 3.09%. That's also improved from the lowest point too. Pharma, oil and gas, consumer durables, metals were the biggest drags as far as the sectors are concerned. We've talked about the movers on the Nifty. Let's talk about those which have not performed. From the IT pack, TCS, HCL Tech, Infosys, Tech Mahindra, all of them down and out, and Wipro also over 2.5 to 3.5% kind of cuts on a single day is what we are seeing in some of these majors. Sun Pharma, Tata Motors are the other stocks that have also dragged in trade. In the F&O space, you have Samvardhan Motherson, 4.3% higher. Shriram Finance, Shriram Transport Finance up 3.8%. You have Bajaj Finance, Chambal Fertilizers as among those which are moving from the top. On the downside, Oracle Financial Services very sharply down in trade, 8.9% higher or lower. Emphasis is down 5.5%. L&T Technology Services, Glenmark. L&T is something, L&T TTS is something that Raghavendra has pointed out as his BTSC trade as well. So keep an eye out on that. We are also seeing Abbott India, L&T Technologies, all of them tracking in the F&O space as well. Within the PSUs, only Power Finance and REC are holding up into the green right now. Rest of the spaces still look weaker. Of course, BSE, the stock of the day, it also has seen some profits at the highest level. So you see from 18-19% higher that it was on an intraday, it's now at 15% higher, still holding up at about 3842 levels as well. So keep an eye out on that one. But this was clearly the stock of the day that we've talked about throughout the trading session. Torrent Power about 8% higher. You have Alkyl Amines about 7% up. You also have stocks like HEG and graphite that Shell marked as well for you within the broader markets that are holding up strong as well. All right, with that, the screen has frozen 73 points lower on the Nifty, 25,344. We'll wrap it up at that. Thank you so much for being with us from both Shell and me. We'll catch you soon on Business Today Television, but stay tuned. There's a lot more lined up even beyond the stock market hours for you.
WhatsApp is showcasing an experiential AI zone here. So let's find out and check out all the new features that WhatsApp has to showcase. But first, let's discuss WhatsApp's AI and privacy features with Alice Newton-Rex, Head of Product at WhatsApp. Alice, great to have you in India and welcome to Tech Today.
Thank you. It's really great to be here.
So WhatsApp is huge here in India and people are obsessed with new features